I have been an actress a long time. Let's just say decades. And I love acting, but mostly I tend to play professions. Doctors, lawyers, nurses, teachers, reporters, cops. You get the idea. Often I play professions with a number. Cop number 2, reporter number 1, etc. I mean, yes, I definitely had higher aspirations, but this is how the career panned out. So, not too long ago, when an audition for a role in a pilot directed by a pretty famous director comes up, I'm thrilled. I mean, booking a pilot could change my career. All right, sure, I'm 10 years too old for the part, and she is described like this, and I'm not making this up. Linda is the odd-looking and slightly overweight hotel manager at the building where Gustavo lives. She brings Gustavo fresh towels, then the two have sex. I mean, yeah, sure, there are some red flags there, but it's a real part, and the character has a name, for Christ's sake, Linda. Plus, the scene for the audition is really meaty. It's a lot better than "Your table is ready," which was my entire part on a recent TV show. So 2 weeks later, when my agent calls to tell me I booked the job, I'm amazed. Now, apparently, the first person booked for the job didn't want to sign a nudity rider. What's a nudity rider, I ask? Oh, it's no big deal. I mean, it's not HBO. It's just side boob and ass. Side boob? Ass? Well, if they want to see it, I'll show it. I mean, sure, I'm not the first choice, and I'm 10 years too old for the part, and I have to sign a nudity rider, but it's a pilot. And did I mention the character has a name? So when I get the script for the pilot, I quickly scan for all the scenes with Linda. There's one scene with Linda. It's a quarter of a page long, and it goes something like this. Linda says, "Have a drink with me." They then have sex. Where was the meaty scene? Well, I find out that the meaty scene was only for the audition and may take place in a subsequent episode if the pilot were picked up. And that is when I start to panic. A sex scene? I've never done anything like that. Your average doctor, lawyer, nurse, teacher, reporter, cop does not have a sex scene. And frankly, I figured that ship had sailed. I thought I'd aged out of that kind of thing, the same way I would never play Juliet or Anne Frank. First, I swear off eating. Next, I dust off some dumbbells and start a workout routine. And then I do some research. I Google how to do a sex scene. And there are a few articles, but they all say something different. My favorite article is by Mindy Kaling, who says that sex scenes are fun. Well, which gives me hope. I call my acting teacher to get her advice, and when I tell her the person that I'm supposed to have movie sex with is an actor from Spain, she reassures me that Europeans love women. And that all I have to do is to tell him that I've never done a scene like this before, and he will take care of me. Well, that helps. I mean, I think that's right. Okay. I'm not going to be alone. We'll be a team, supporting each other and reassuring each other through this really weird aspect of our job. And as I said, I love acting. So I decide to focus on the scene and the thoughts and wants of Linda and Gustavo. When I show up to the set, I'm really nervous. First, I want to meet my co-star. I'll call him Sergio, because that's his name. I want to establish a rapport of some kind before the cameras start rolling. Now, he's nowhere to be found, so I head into my trailer, and laid out for me is my costume, which includes a black bra and red cotton panties. Next, I go to the makeup trailer, and I'm asked if I want body makeup. I look at the makeup artist. Do I? She nods her head. Probably. Well, the doors to the trailer are locked, and I stand completely naked with my arms out as the incredibly nice makeup person sprays my entire body with base makeup. And I have to say, it's great. It's kind of like Photoshop for your actual body. So I wait around for hours practicing Spanish in my trailer with my Duolingo app. I want to reassure Sergio by communicating with him in his mother tongue during our scene. And then a few hours later, we're called to lunch, and I think, okay, finally I get to talk with Sergio. He's there. I catch his eye. He's a large, handsome man built like a football player. And he quickly turns away and proceeds to completely ignore me. Well, I assume he must not realize who I am. That if he knew I was playing Linda, he would come over to me and say hello. I mean, yes, I could have gone up to him, but it is my first and only day on the set, and I'm a nervous wreck. So I glom onto the lovely makeup lady and sit next to her during lunch. Finally, I'm called to the set. I'm terrified. I try to play it cool. I smile at Sergio. He doesn't acknowledge my existence. He won't even look at me. The director describes the scene to me. Gustavo is craving intimacy. He needs Linda. Oh, and Linda should be on top. Wait, what? God, thank God I got that body makeup. Now, before I climb on top of this strangely cold man who still won't look at me, I whisper to him, Sergio, I've never done a scene like this, expecting a flood of compassion. He sneers. Really? I've done like 20. And then he turns his head away. The director calls action, and we start humping. And for the record, I'm not nude. I am wearing the black bra and a thong. I hump and pretend to climax over and over for more than an hour with an entire camera crew behind me. And did I mention I'm in a thong? And Sergio never looks at me. He doesn't say 2 words to me. And despite all those hours of humping, I don't think that man could pick me out of a police lineup. The experience is surreal. I feel like I'm watching a movie of a sex scene being filmed, but I'm in the movie. My only moments of comfort are when I climb off of this human iceberg while the camera's being reset, and Marcia, the makeup lady, whispers words of encouragement to me. You look great. You look really powerful. Which is funny because I'm completely traumatized. And at the end of the day, I feel embarrassed and humiliated, and I visibly cringe at the idea of anyone ever seeing this. But in the final analysis, I think Mindy Kaling is right. A sex scene can be fun because acting is fun. It's fun to connect with another human being, to create something interesting and real. What isn't fun is to be all alone while with another person, especially when you are supposed to be working intimately together. The sex scene and even the partial nudity were not the problem. The problem was that I had never been treated so horribly in my life, especially at my most vulnerable. I don't know if I could ever forgive Sergio for treating me this way. But if the pilot were picked up and the character of Linda came back, I would happily climb back on that snowman and hump away, as long as the makeup lady was there to spray me down.